Hey guys, welcome to a new tutorial. This is what we are going to do now. This is a very nice Asian pattern or Asian graphic, and we're going to divide these into layers and animate them on After Effects. This is a graphic from Freepik. We have it on a vector file from Illustrator, and then we're going to separate it and later take it to After Effects to animate these elements. So first, let's begin with Illustrator. We have this file. You can see that everything is on one single layer. So this won't work for us because to animate it on After Effects, we need all these layers to be on separate layers. So let's begin by separating all those layers, because otherwise we won't be able to animate them on After Effects, of course, because otherwise we would be animating like this. Okay, so this is an entire group. All you have to do is to ungroup these layers, and this is where we decide how are we going to animate this. So as you can see on the example, these circles move like an entire group. The middle one to the right, this one to the left, and this one to the left too. So we need to group them like that. Right now they are all separated. So we take these three and group them with Ctrl and G. Take these four and group them with Ctrl and G. And the back three also with Ctrl and G. So we have 3 rows of circles. So we can now start separating everything. I'm going to take this and I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to, with this selected, I'm going to right click on them and go to Arrange and Send to Current Layer. So this will take these elements to this new layer. You can see that the selection changed on color. So now we can rename this so that we don't get lost on After Effects, because on After Effects all we're going to see is layer 2, layer 4. We're not going to see this thumbnail. So I'm going to rename this. I'm going to name this as front circles. I'm going to repeat the same process with this. Create a new layer, right click, arrange, send to current layer, and this is going to be called middle circles. Now it's important to keep the position of the layers, because if this one is on top, this will cover up these layers. So it's important to have it on the position that they should be. Now create a new layer, right click, arrange, send to current layer. This can be called back circles. Alright, now we have these clouds. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We can turn off this for now, and we have all these clouds. So I'm going to create 4 different layers, and I'm going to start. You can see that this one is on front, then this one, and this is the last one. So I'm going to move this to this layer, this one to layer 7, always keeping the position of those layers. Alright, we have the first row of clouds. If you want, you can rename this. Alright, now repeat this with these back clouds. So we need 4 of them. And just arrange them into the new layers. Repeat this. Don't worry about this. We're going to change this right now. Create a new layer, which will be called symbol, and we're going to take this circle and take it to this new layer, and this new layer will go above the last two layers that we created over here. Perfect. Now create 4 more layers. Take this one and just arrange them all. You can see that we are arranging everything into different layers. Alright, now create another layer and take all these lines, these light rays, take them here. And finally, take everything else on the background, these last clouds, the biggest clouds, take them here and take them to another layer. We can call these big clouds. And this one can be called background. So we have everything on different layers and we are ready to animate this. Now save your file, make sure that everything is on different layers, and now we're on After Effects. Here on After Effects, just go to your project panel, right click here, go to Import File, and select your vector files and make sure that you import this as a composition, because if you import it as a footage, it will be like one single layer. But if you click here on composition, retain layer sizes, if you click import, you will have this composition, and if you double click on it, you have a new timeline and you have all these layers separated, as you can see. You can see that they don't look too sharp, this Illustrator file. All you have to do is to click on toggle switches and mode, select everything, all these layers, and you can see here the forecomb layer. Click here with everything selected, click here on this square, and it will become a sharper vector file. Alright, so make sure that we have everything separated. Alright, this is perfect. And now it's time to start with the animation, of course. Now, it's really simple. First, let's set a timeline of 4 seconds. I think it's more than enough. So we can do anything on 0, 2, and 4. Alright, so let's begin with the front circles. Let's open the position for this layer. And we're going to change the position a little bit to the right. And we're going to click here on the stopwatch to create a keyframe. Make sure it's an easy ease keyframe. Now, on second 2, we're going to move it to the left. And then on second 4, we're going to click here on the first keyframe, select Ctrl C to copy and Ctrl B to paste it. So we will have this animation. Alright, this is perfect. Now let's go with the middle circles, and everything will be animated on 4 seconds. And let's try to animate everything here. The first position on 0, the second position on 2, and the final position on 4. So here on the middle circle, Let's repeat the same process. Let's bring it a little bit to the left. Click on the stopwatch to create the keyframe. Go to second 2 and move it to the right. Go to the last frame and copy the first frame. So we will have this animation. Cool. And now repeat the same process for the back circles. A little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, and copy the frame. And remember to always make them easy ease so that the movement is smoother. Alright, we have the first thing about the animation. It's looking good. Alright, so we can close these front circles for now, and let's begin with the clouds. This part is a little more tricky, but it's not so difficult too. Open the position for all of them, and we are going to divide this into pairs. You can see on the example, you can see that 2 of them move up and 2 of them move down. So I'm going to repeat this. So what I'm going to do is to take cloud 9 and cloud 3 and create a position for them, make it easy ease, and I'm going to second 2 and I'm going to move them up, and then on second 4 I'm going to copy the first frame and paste them. So we will have this. You can see that we're moving cloud 9, this one, and this one on the middle. Now let's take cloud 2 and cloud 4, and we're going to change the position without animating. Change the position to the top until we see them like this. Click on the stopwatch. Make sure there are easy ease. Now go to second 2 and move them down. And then on second 4, copy the first keyframe and paste it. So we will have this animation. 2 go down and 2 go up. Perfect. Now we're going to repeat this with the back clouds, but we have to create like a game for it, because if this one goes up, then the back one has to go down. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take number 5 and number 7, open up the position and create a keyframe with easy ease, and then on second 2 they will go down, and then on second 4 we copy the first frame and paste it like a last frame. So you can see that when this goes down, this goes up. Maybe they don't move so much, maybe they move a little less, like this. Alright, now let's take number 6 and number 8, open up the position, and if this one goes down, they should be moving up. Create a keyframe here, and then on second 2, move them up a little bit, and repeat the same process. You can see that we are always repeating the process. Okay, let's go to here and move them up more. Yeah, like this. So we have nice movement here. Now you can see that we have these, like these edges. We can see these edges in here. So I'm going to go to composition settings, and with lock aspect ratio, I'm going to reduce the size of the file until everything is inside of the square, of the rectangle. Now click OK. Perfect. So we have animated half of the poster. Now let's continue with the other clouds. You can see that everything is really simple because we are always animating from second 2 and second 4. So that's what makes it easier, because it's pretty organized. Now the symbol won't have any animation, so don't worry about it. Let's see, we have cloud 9 and cloud 10. So let's see how we animate it. This one should go up when this cloud goes down. So we create a position keyframe, and over here we move up and then copy the first frame. Alright. The same goes with layer 10. This one should go down like this on the middle, and then go back to the original position. Alright. Close this, and we're almost there. We have layer 11. Click on the position, and let's see. This one is going up and down. So this layer 11, should go down and then up. So here we're going to take it down a little bit, a few steps, and then copy the first frame and paste it, and we have this animation. The important thing is that not all of them move alike. If this cloud is going up, this one should go down, so that we can create a nice animation, because otherwise it will look really stiffy, all of them moving on the same position. Okay, layer 12, you can delete this layer because we won't see it. Let's see about layer 14. Click on the position, make it easy ease, and let's see, this one should go up like this. And for layer 13, we can make an exception and make it move along with it. So it will be like this. And now the light rays won't be animated. We have the big clouds, these clouds on the back. So let's create a position for them, make it easy ease, and this one, let's move this down a little bit. Let's see how it looks. All right. we have a nice movement here. So the final thing that we need to do is to create some depth into this poster. You can see that we have some shadows here that helps a little bit with the depth of everything. So we're going to take the front circles. We're going to go to Effects and Presets and click on Drop Shadow. Double click on it to apply. And we're going to fix the direction to the top. And let's see, we can increase the softness by a lot, like 50. So we have a nice shadow here. You can decrease the distance to 4. And now you don't have to click on drop shadow on all of these layers. All you have to do is to click on drop shadow here, press Ctrl and C, and now take everything else and press Ctrl and B. And now all the layers will have the drop shadow effect, as you can see. Of course, this can take a little toll on your computer. Maybe the rendering will be a little slower now, but don't worry. Let's see how this looks. Alright, this is a nice animation. Now, you may be wondering why we animated as on second 4 everything is on the same position as the first layer, as the first frame, and that's because I want to create a GIF animation. So it's important that the final frame is the same, is exactly the same as the first frame, so that we can create a loop like this. You can see that it goes up, and then on layer, when it arrives to frame 4, to second 4, and go back to 0, you can see that we can't see any stopping here. We don't see the animation stop or make a weird jump or anything. We have a very smooth GIF animation. So if you want to turn this into a GIF file, you have two options. You can go to Composition and go to Adobe to add to Adobe Media Encoder Q. Let's wait for it to open. And here I have already the preset for GIF. If you don't find it, you can just click input GIF here, and we have animated GIF. So when you have this, just hit play, and it will start creating the GIF file. Let's wait a little bit. Alright, so if we open this, we have a GIF file. But what happens if you don't have Adobe Media Encoder? I suggest that you have this software because it's a very nice software to render. But if you don't have it, just go to Add to Render Queue, and just let's turn this into a QuickTime file. We have the sound. Click OK. Hit render. And now open up Photoshop. And open up the vector files animation here in Photoshop, and you can see that we have a timeline here. If you hit play, you will see the exact same animation from After Effects. Now, if you want to save this as a GIF, you have to go to File, Export, Save for Web Legacy, and make sure it's on GIF. And here on Looping Up Options, on default it's on once. Make sure it's on forever, so the animation will go on forever. And just click Save, and it will save your file as a GIF. just like this. So it's the exact same thing, but if you don't have the Adobe Media Encoder, it's a way, it's an alternate way, but of course it's easy with the Adobe Media Encoder. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. We have a nice animation with an Asian pattern, an Asian graphic, and I think it's really cool. It's a very simple animation, and remember that the most important thing is to fix everything on Illustrator so that we can animate it easily on After Effects. So thank you for joining me on this tutorial, and see you on another.